Hey guys, I have two markets this weekend and I am super excited. The first one is on Saturday and two of my friends are going to be vending there as well, so we're hoping to be able to sit next to each other and spend the day together. And then the second one is on Sunday and it is an Earth Day event. Now this one is outdoors and there's a chance of rain, so I'm really hoping that it's not going to rain. But I've pretty much got everything ready for the markets. I've got everything made. I think I'm going to make one more earth for the Earth Day event. And the only other thing that I really need to do is that I am going to change how I'm doing my signage for my pricing. So I am going to print some new signs, and I bought a laminator, which I need to figure out how to use it, and I'm going to laminate them, and hopefully I will have them ready for Saturday. But it is Thursday today, so I don't even know if FedEx can print them that quick. If not, I might end up having to go to the library to print them. So I'm not sure. I'm really hoping I can get them done by then though. So it's been a few days since the market, and I wasn't really able to film because it has been raining and storming a lot, and I didn't want you to hear that in the background because it's pretty loud. So finally, it stopped raining for 2 hours, so I have a little bit of time to film about the market. So I did this market together with two of my best friends, and I will show you a video of one of their booths. I forgot to get a video of my other friend's booth before she packed up, so I only have a video of one, but I will go ahead and put that in. This is my friend Destiny, and her Instagram is Inky Birdie, and I have it linked in the description if you want to check out more of her work. She does lots of really cool paintings, and I really love the cat one. And then she also has some prints as well. And I will put her information in the description, so if you want to check out more of her work, you can check it out there. And I will also put more info for my other friend. She's an author, so those will be in the description. And then I'll go ahead and put in the video of my booth at the market. This was my setup for the market, and I had a pretty good stock of everything at this market. And you can see my new price tags that I put out, and I realized I have a ton of bandanas, so these are just a few of the ones that I have. So the market had to be moved inside. It is supposed to be outside, but if the weather's bad, then they move it inside. And I've done this market many times, and it is kind of always the same way. If it's outdoor, I do really good, and if it's indoor, it's not so good. But it's also usually, because it's indoor, it's raining, so not that many people are wanting to get out and go to a market while it is storming. So I didn't make the most sales or as many as I had hoped to, but it was still a super fun market. I got to hang out with my friends, and we met some new artists and vendors in our community as well, which was really cool. So before, I had these chalkboard signs that I put the prices for multiple items on, and I found that a lot of people were kind of just asking, hey, how much is this, instead of reading the pricing sign. So for the smaller items, I decided to design a little price card and printed those out, and I laminated them. And so I put those cards. Now originally I was going to like clip them onto the baskets and stuff, but I forgot about the clips, so I kind of just laid them in front of the baskets, and it worked pretty well. I'm not sure from this market if I could really tell if it was better or worse having those signs, just because there wasn't a ton of people there, but I'm hoping in the future that that'll be a lot easier for people to just see the prices really big, and they won't have to like search for the prices. Now, my larger items do still have their own tags on each one. This market went from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. So, like I said, there just wasn't a ton of people shopping, and most of the people that were there really just walked through like super quickly and just barely glanced at everything, and they were not like going into many of the booths, kind of just walking through super quick, just glancing at what's there and going. So I don't know what the case was on that, but I talked to my friends and a few other vendors that were there, and everyone was saying the same thing, that most customers were not coming into the booth, talking to people, checking out the items very much. So I only sold one item in the first hour, and it was a pink axolotl, and this one was $20. And then in the second hour, I also only sold one item, and it was I believe it's Tofu the turtle. I always want to say Tank the turtle, but I think that's a different one. But it was this blue turtle, and it sold for $32. I have had it around for a while, and I didn't even remember that it was priced that high. I feel like that's pretty high, so if I make it again, I'm gonna probably price it lower than that. In the third hour, I sold two things. So I sold a small cat, and this was the black one. This is the mystical yarn from Burnett Blanket, and that sold for $15. And then I sold another pink axolotl, which was $20, and that was my last pink axolotl. So, I had a market the day after this, and I did not have any more pink yarn. So the next market had to go with no pink axolotls, which I was kind of sad about because the pink ones are usually pretty popular. But my yarn order had not come in yet. So those were my two pink axolotls, and so I'm trying to make some more now for my next market. And in the fourth hour, I sold 3 items, so a little bit better than the previous hours. I sold a pink pop mushroom, and that same person also got a watermelon. So those were each 15, so those were 30 total. Then I sold another small cat, and this was a gray one that I made with a velvet yarn, and it is a little smaller than the other ones because I did have to use a smaller hook for it. And that one sold for 15. And I had another gray one that I made with that same yarn, and I gave it to my friend that helps me weave in the ends sometimes. And so I was just like, you always help me weave in ends, so I want to give you a plushie, and that was her favorite one, so I gave it to her. And then in the last hour, I only sold one more item, and that one was a bandana, and it was like a tan and pink one. And this one I used some scrap yarn for. I don't remember exactly what the yarn is called, but I really did enjoy this yarn. I'm pretty sure it was a Karen cake, but I got it like a few years ago, so I don't know if they still make it or not. And so that bandana sold for $25, and so that is everything that I sold. But like I said, this market was super fun. I actually met a lot of crocheters and people who want to crochet. So that last lady, she crochets as well, and she showed me some of the things that she's been making, and she makes a lot of loveys, and so that was really cool to talk to her. And then another vendor that was working for a vet, she does crochet as a hobby, so I was talking to her as well. And this time at this market, there was only one other crochet vendor, and I had never seen her before, and I talked to her. She was super nice, and so we talked a lot and kind of checked in on each other, like, have you sold anything yet? How's it going? And so we were both kind of worried at the beginning, but we did both at least sell a few items. And I'm not sure if she made her booth feedback, but I'm pretty sure because her table looked like she did sell quite a few things. But I was actually really glad that there were only 2 crocheters at this event, because usually at this event there are at least 3, sometimes more, and a lot of times there's like ones that are like maybe their main thing is something else, but they have some crochet items. So I was really glad to see that there was only the 2 of us this time. And while we were sitting there, I was working on crocheting, so I did get quite a bit of work done while I was sitting there. I made 1.5 bandanas, and then I had 3 pop mushrooms that I had made the top for, and so I finished crocheting the bottom half of those. And I think that's all that I did while I was there. There might have been more, but I can't really remember. And I did forget to mention the total. So I made $157 at this market. I can't remember exactly how much the booth fee was. I know it was either $40 or $50. So I pretty much profited like $107. which is not super great. That was not what I was hoping for. I was hoping for, originally I was kind of hoping for 300. I usually make about 350 at these events, but once I heard it was moving inside because of the weather, then I was hoping for 200, and I did not make that much. So I have been feeling a little discouraged because my markets so far this year have not been amazing. But spoiler alert, in part 2 of this video, the market for the next day, I did really well. So you'll want to check that one out. It was a great day, and I finally had a market this year that went super well for me. I will go ahead and put in the video after the market. This is my booth after the market. You can see there's no more pink axolotls, but honestly, there's not a lot more that was missing. You can see some of the small cats were missing, but I still had a lot of stock left over. And I'll also put in a picture of me and my friends at the market together. We had to get a picture all together by my booth. So I know this vlog was a little short because I didn't sell very much, but my next one should be longer because I did sell quite a bit. So this is the part 1 of the 2 markets in one weekend, and then I will post part 2 next Friday. So if you want to make sure you see that one, then make sure you're subscribed and you turn on the bell notification so YouTube will notify you whenever I post it. And I'm going to go ahead and put up the video of last year when I did this same market at this location. So if you want to watch that one next and see the difference of what I sold last year versus what I sold this year and what my booth looked like, I watched the video and I was actually surprised that there were a few items that I have still had for a year. So that was kind of weird. I'm like, I mean, I knew I had them for a while, but I didn't know I had them at my booth for a year. So I thought that was very interesting. So I'll put that one up so you can watch it next. And if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like so YouTube will show it to more people. Thanks for watching.